Hello, America. This right here is your old pal, Purple Jiggly. People call me Purple Jiggly because I'm kind of jiggly. And I'm usually wearing something purple. I ain't got anything purple on today, so you guys at home just go ahead and call me Jiggly. If you've been watching, you know that I ended the drinking the beer on the YouTube thing because it's bad for my liver and going to kill me. And I promised you I'd think of something else. Well, your old pal Jiggly here knows a thing or two about bicycles. I'm sure that you can see them all hanging up back there in the back. And I've got one right here that I picked up at a yard sale for about $5. Let me show you this thing here. Get my hand out of the way. This is an Iverson. I'll be honest with you, I ain't never heard of Iverson before. But I like to buy beat up, junk, broken bikes like this and make them all pretty like new again. A couple things right away that you notice on this one here is the handbrake ain't got the cable. I haven't tested out the gears or seen if the tires there hold air. And that right there would hurt if you decided to go ahead and sit on that. But I'm pretty sure I've got a seat in my stash of old broken bicycles in here that will work on that just fine. Like I said, I got a whole bunch of them hanging here. I'm sure we can find something to make it work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up here on the workbench here, and I'm going to start fixing it, checking it, seeing what else is broke. Because I'm sure it's something. What I've been able to find out about Iverson, by the way, it's an American company from New York. They were popular in the 50s and 60s, but haven't really made anything since the 70s. Now, I'm going to do more looking, but I did find these shifters down here on the lower tube. Is not real common. I read something that said that they quit doing that in 1972. I'll investigate that further, but it's kind of weird having shifter knobs like on a racing bike with handlebars like what's on a cruising bike. So Iverson was always known for being cheap and making bikes that didn't make a whole lot of sense. They were cheaper than Huffy back in the day. But like I said, I'm going to pick her up, put it on the table here. I'm going to stop this for now and we'll get right back to it. Hang on for me. Okay, I'm back. Alright, I found that the reflectors is actual glass instead of plastic, which also puts this in the 70s or before. The front brakes do work. Not real well, but they do work. See, they move a little bit. The mud deflector there needs a little love. Missing the plastic cap off the bolt on the other side, but that ain't no big thing. The back brakes are unknown on their functionality because there is no cable, but I'm going to fix that. The derailleur back here, it looks pretty good. If you look down in here, you can count the gears with me there. Looks like there's 5. And if we look up here, looks like there's 2. That's a 10-speed. Let me check that. That's nice and solid. I'm going to put some air in the tires here, and I'll be right back. Okie dokie. Neither tire held air. This one let it out immediately. This one here is letting it out as we speak. I pumped them up all the way there. So new inner tube. Now on the side of the tire here somewhere is a size 26 by 1 3/8. When you go buy new inner tube, you want to check that number right there. Let me find it again. Right there. Now the rubber on this here tire is See the little cracks there? It's pretty well dry rotted, so it wouldn't hurt to replace that either. We'll worry about that as we come. I found that there is no front reflector, which isn't a big deal. And the back reflector is shadanged. Also not a big deal. So I guess I'm gonna tinker with the brakes here. I don't know if I can do that and record at the same time, but we're gonna try. But we're missing the little nut that goes right here that holds the cable. I know I've got one, I just gotta find it. Okie dokie. This right here is the seat that I'm gonna use. This came off of another old bike I got sitting in here. It's probably from the same time. But you'll notice this one still has the stem on it, which I don't need because it's right there. Now what you do is you basically take it off. There's a 13 millimeter something or other right there. And you just loosen it. Now some of these seats will have two of these, one on each side. In that case, you just hold the one while you turn the other. Did you get it loose enough? I don't know, not yet. And it's kind of hard to do and hold the phone at the same time here. But you get the idea. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, after you take the stem out, of the old seat there, you put it on this stem and then you find that same bolt right there and tighten her down. Now of course I'll need to adjust the seat up and down and all that stuff, but I'll do that later. Let me go ahead and get that bolt tightened. I'll be right back. Okie dokie, seat's on and tightened. Now the brake thing here that was missing, I found what should be there. This is one off of another bike. Now it's threaded, so it'll go right in. Now this helps you adjust the tightness of your brake cable when you're putting it on the first time. You want it tight as it'll go. Now this one had a bolt and a washer that went on the bottom, which are right there. I'll try to do this one-handed here so I can hold on to the phone here and get it started placed. Alright, get on there. All thumbs, I tell you, I'm all thumbs. Dagnabbit. There we go. Now that's a teeny tiny one. Now you don't want to tighten it up all the way, because if you need to adjust it, adjust the tightness of the brake cable, you have to undo that anyway. But anyway, there it is, that's done. I've got a brake cable assembly right there. Something else that I noticed that this was missing earlier is this guy. Now, it goes right, there's the one that's still there. This side doesn't have one at all, and it just goes right in and just tightens right up. We'll do that when we put the cable on, and I'll be right back here. Alright, now I mentioned before that the back reflector here was kind of, well, done for. I don't have one that'll fit that, but I found an ultra super generico one, just like that right there. Now this right here attaches right here. Now you loosen up these two bolts, you put it there, and you tighten down those bolts, and there you go, you got a reflector. I will continue to search for the original round one if I can find one so that I can do a true restoration. But for now, that'll do. I'm going to go ahead and put that on here and I'll be right back. Oh, there's a bike tire in the way. You guys can't see me real good. It's like 112 degrees in that garage. Taking a break. Having me one of them like I'm a kid. Anyway, reflector's on. Next I'm going to be putting on the brake cable, I guess. And I think I'm done till I buy inner tubes for these flat tires here. It's always a good idea to go around and check your spokes for loose ones. Like this one here is loose. You see how much that one moves? You tighten them right here. That one's good, that one's good. That one's loose. But basically what you do is you just tighten them. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You don't want to tighten them too much because that's actually how you straighten a bent rim, is by tightening those. And if your rim ain't bent and you go tighten them too hard, well guess what? You just bent your rim. But I'm going to cool off and enjoy this for a minute, turn on the fan here, and I'll be back. I have had my cool down brake here, ready to continue with the brake cable. Let me see if I can show you what to do. Okay, there is a little hole right there. You see it? Dang camera at the same time. Anyway, that hole right there. Oh, I got it. Alright. Oh, I dropped it. Okay. I need to put the camera down here. I'm dropping stuff. Hang on. Okie dokie, I'm back. You got it fed through there. There's the end of the cable. Now there's these little black pieces in the kit it came with here. And one of them, and just one of them, is the right size. So we're going to try that one. Now you'll see that it's, let me get it there. You see how it's got the three, I don't know, ridges? That goes in. So you feed it onto the cable like that. Like this, and viola, just like that right there. Now you take the white part, or the sheath, which ain't the same shade or size as the original, but it's pretty close, and you feed this end up over that there same cable. I will need both hands for this part. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Now the reason why you feed the cable in through that little teeny tiny hole, you see that piece right there? That catches in that hole so that the handlebar lever there works. That's why it's important. So we're going to go ahead and finish putting it on here. So when I pull it tight, it should go in and stop. And it did. Alright. And then we just push the white sheet back up there. And there's the first half of the brake cable. The other half, I got a couple clips here to run it through. And then I'll show you how to do the back here. Okie dokie. Got it fed through the two clips there. Now we're ready to do the back, but I just discovered that this cable is huge. There's enough here to do a couple bikes here probably. You know, if I feed that straight in, have a big old loop of cable. So Probably need to trim some of that. Anyway, same assembly procedure up there. One of these little black doodads. We'll shove up over the end of the cable. You'll see one end is smaller than the other. The big end shoves up over the white cable. Little end goes in there. You can usually tell by where those three rings are. I'm going to work on getting this cable to be a whole lot shorter though. But anyway, when you do this, you want enough slack up here at the front where you can turn the handlebars all the way one way and then all the way the other way without putting any tension on that there cable. So that's just about perfect. We just got to take care of this silliness right here. Let me do that real quick and I'll be right back. Alright, I've got all that excess trimmed off of the outer casing. We'll trim the excess off the actual cable inside here in a minute. But what you want to do is you want to feed it down through the center of this gizmo and then down through the center of that. Now you will see that there's a hole. Let me get my finger out of the way here. Just like that. Now you'll tighten that bolt and that actually holds the cable still. But we're going to pull that tight and check the fit. It goes in just like that there. We're going to pull that tight and tighten, but I need 2 hands for that. So hang on for me, I'll be right back.